Hey, welcome back to Running with the Wolves. This is Dustin. I'm Christian. We are here to bring you everything in the world of athletics, track and field, and running in general. This is episode 3, and today we're going to be talking to our wonderful guest, freshman at Furman University, Krissy Gear. We're going to talk about what it's like to transition from high school to college, and if it's really hard on the body and mental, and just keeping up with new schoolwork. We're going to talk about the Philly Half Marathon Finals and just some future events and the way that this channel is going. So with that said, everybody give a warm welcome to Krissy, even though no one's actually here except us two. And Dustin, I will let you start off with the question.
All right, Krissy, as a lot of us probably know, or most of us probably know, you won 3 events at state last year and then went overseas to run at CARIFTA and run the 1500, and then went to New Balance to race. How was it comparing those 3 of those races and 3 of those different competitions dynamically?
I'd say States was the easiest, like, let's say mentally, I was competing in 4 different events and getting individual titles in 1-3, was physically demanding, but it helped that, I know who I was racing against, and, what to expect from a lot of the runners. Like, when I went to Cuba, there was no, virtual meet or things. I didn't know who I was going up against. Like, some of these athletes ran against were, the Olympic runners for some of these countries. They were, adults in their, 20s and 30s. So it's kind of, I don't say scary, but I guess intimidating. Not what I was expecting. And then New Balance, it was kind of, a mix in between. Just because, you can look up these people in miles split, but, you don't know what type of runner they are and how they, the races they PR at. Do they perform better, when they're pushed? Do they perform better when they're running by themselves? Do they have a stronger kick at the end? You just don't know what to expect from the athletes, except that, they'll be, as around your time frame. So, I don't know. It was nice, though, to have, I just feel like, I'm really glad how I ended my season. Because everyone, I don't say everyone, but a lot of people say, oh, last one, best one. But honestly, my last season was definitely my best season. Just because, I had, those 3 highly competitive races. My sophomore, junior year when I ran, I just stopped at states. So it was nice, instead of peaking for states, I got to continue and, push myself afterwards and realize, I guess find, new limits and, break past those. But it was awesome.
And then moving on, the 3200 at state this year, that was quite the race. I was there on the track to watch that one. What was going through your head as, 7 laps in, and freshman Allison Churchill, who runs 10:23, season best, PR as well, runs 10:23. She's 100 meters ahead, front running the entire race with a lap to go. Okay, 80. Okay. 80 to 100 meters with a lap to go. What's going through your head before you catch her?
Okay, well, backing it up to state, so that couple of months. So back in a little before spring break, was it March, April? I ran at UF, the 3200, and I only ran that because I wanted a PR. I didn't want my PR to be stuck in junior year. So I went out. I ran a halfway decent race. I got halfway through, and I decided I just didn't want to run anymore. So I was kind of going through the motions and not really competing. And I said I ran a halfway decent time, and I was I don't want to run a 2-mile. And I talked to my coach about it, and I explained. I was I don't really want to do this. If you want me to do this, in order to get points for the team, I'm willing to do that. But he's no, it's your senior year. You can do what you want. I was okay, cool. So I'm not running a 2-mile. And then, come spring break, was it Easter week for us? I was, just chilling in Europe, having a great time. And my coach, texted me, and he's will you run the 32? I was what? You were telling me I don't have to. But I was yeah, I will. And like you said, Allison Church has a PR, 10:23. That girl is a beast. I was okay, there's no way, I'm catching her. There's no way I'm going to beat her at states. So it's I'll just run fast enough to get second in order to score points for the team.
Yeah.
And I was coming around, 7th lap, going into the last lap in, what was it, 9, whatever, in 10:40.
Yeah.
So it was like 9:33.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, if I run like a 72, I can get a school record, a PR.
Mm-hmm.
So I think our school record at the time was like 10:45. I was like, I just want that. So I started picking up pace.
Mm-hmm.
You know, kind of did the math, and I was like, okay, in order to catch her, if I ran this, like she would have to run like a 1:30, which is not happening. Like it's a 6-minute pace, and this girl can run like a 5:20 average for 2 miles. Like, so I was like, I'm not like catching her.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to pick up pace. Get like a PR. And as we were getting closer, 200 meters, I realized the gap was growing, and I was like, all right, like, might as well like try and like go a little faster, like, just like get it done with. And I get to like 150 meters, and the gap's still like closing. I hear the announcers listen to like, okay, like let's like put our hands together and bring it home for Alison Churchill. And I was like, wait, what? Like, I mean, like the gap's in the video. I was like, I can still get her.
Yeah.
So I just kind of like got me all fired up, and I was like, not today. So I just wanted to meet her. But yeah, going into the race, like even like someone told you the whole like first 3,000 meters of the race, I was like, I'm planning to get second, and then I guess last 200, I was like, I'm gonna go for it. But that really wasn't the goal going in. So it was nice though to repeat as the 32 state champ.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I gotta ask, because we had talked about it before we came on the interview, what was it like being a amazing distance runner throughout high school, but then also managing pole vaulting?
Okay, I think I was average at best distance runner. So I went in initially my freshman year to pole vault just because like I had an older sister who did it. And I was like, this is really cool. I also wanted to do javelin, but I got to like tryouts and they're like, we don't have javelin. And I was like, what? Like, what's going on? So yeah, I did pole vault, and I think it was like 9 feet, which is not like that great my freshman year. And I did it sophomore year, and I did it like I competed it junior year. I didn't really get to train as much just because I was like, I'd have like workouts and like runs in the morning, and like come afternoon, I was like, I'm too tired. Like I don't want to go to practice. So I wouldn't, and then I just realized like I wasn't gonna go. I was like, I'm not gonna vault in college, so it's not really worth me wasting my time like practicing. So senior year, I completely dropped in, just focused on like running and practicing, like distance stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Okay, so that said, for people watching, that's how hard runners are on themselves. She is running at a fantastic D1 university, and she says she's average, but that is not the case. So, yeah, with that said, that's awesome that you were able to, manage kind of, the two, and then obviously get better at distance running, and that's what you focused on. So, coming out of high school with a really good senior season, what's it been like transitioning into not only the college running lifestyle where they are harder workouts, but really managing your work, being away from home, and just managing it all together from all sides of the spectrum?
I actually don't have the issue of, being away from home, being homesick. I am loving this freedom getting out because I've been in Florida, mostly in, like, actually Fort Myers my whole life. So it's nice to get, like, a change of scenery and, like, the weather also. I love the weather up here. Like, it's not, 110 degrees all day. It's, like, 60, 65 in the morning. It's wonderful. So I'm not really struggling with, like, being away from home. I have pretty easy classes this year. Not this year, it's this semester. So that's not too much of a challenge. But I'd say, yeah, the biggest challenge is probably running. Just because, like, college is, like, it's another level. Like, like high school you're competing here, and then college, and like recovering and whatnot. And they have so many like great resources here, but you just have to like be willing to take advantage of them. But yeah, like I was telling you earlier, back at like my high school, if we ever did mile repeats, you have like mile warm up, mile cool down, maybe like 2 or 3 repeats. Like we go up here and it's like a 20-minute or 20-minute warm up, 20-minute cool down. So there's at least 5 miles right there. And then I just did 5-mile repeats with like a 1.5-minute rest the other week. And then you're 4 by 200s after that. So it's definitely a higher like level, but it's a lot more bearable just because like my teammates are so wonderful and I love training with them. But having like balance like that and then sleep. So our coach always stresses sleep and how important that is. Having balance like that and getting all like my schoolwork in and sleep and stuff. It's like it's still a little challenge. I'm working on it, but we're getting there.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely, I understand what you're saying. It's been a big adjustment for me as well. Workouts, like you said, I'm a 40 to 50 mile a week kind of guy. I've always been that. That's what has been a Newsom. Christian can vouch for that. He's been the same. I've always been 40 to 50 miles a week, and that's what I've been used to. And distance has been climbing up, and it's not just distance, and I'm sure you'll get this too. Runs are at harder paces now that we're in college. You'd vouch for that, I'm sure.
Yes!
Yeah.
I don't appreciate that. I like my relaxed, like 8-minute pace, and they're like, let's go like 7:15 pace. I'm like, let's not.
Yeah, we went out for, what was it, our first run with the French kid on our team. And he was like, okay, it's your first mile repeat of like 6 you're doing today. And he's like, but you get a 5-minute break, so go hard. So we all thought hard was like, 5:15. And this kid goes out at 4:42. And I was just like,
wait, what?
Oh, done for the rest of the workout. I was like, we're dusted. And he kept knocking out sub-5s, and I'm sitting in the back, falling back into the 6s because I just, body couldn't handle it. But that's what college, they start expecting of you to just knock out these insane pieces. But, I mean, that's what college, and you guys will experience it because you're both in your D1 programs. Well, D2 for Dustin, but still, which is just impossibly hard that, when you get to the NCAA level, these kids don't mess around. They're hunting for them golds, so, and it is important. But I guess for people who are watching, for most of our viewership is probably college people, especially freshmen. Being a runner, especially in Dustin's and Krissy's place, they're freshmen, which it is, that's the biggest jump you're going to make. But it gets harder and harder. You're going to take harder classes, and eventually by your senior year, you're going to be doing internships. You're going to have a job most likely to help pay for the stuff that you want to do in the future. And your classes are going to be in the 400s and 300s level, and on top of that, you're going to be the senior of your team that you're on. So you've got to learn how to manage it now as a freshman and make the most of it, sleep schedule, eating habits, and just making yourself a regimen every day. So that's just a piece of advice for all the college athletes and seniors in high school that are about to go. It's important. Regimen, discipline, and sleep. So
I got really scared. I want to stay a freshman, wait.
I forget I'm a sophomore, I'm a year ahead, and yes, it gets harder, it gets stressful, very
See, I'm loving it. All my homework this weekend was to read certain New York Times articles for American government, but that's it.
I wish I had that. No, that's awesome, but it's good. When you eventually you'll figure out how it goes, and you have these long summers to plan it and stuff, so it does get, a little bit better. So something a bit off topic from college running, the Philly half was run yesterday, and our big man Galen Rupp won. So Dustin, your thoughts on Galen's coming back into the half marathon and him becoming more of a distance road runner? What do you think?
Well, looking at from the splits today, he went out reservedly hard. He went out, I think, about 4:50 pace and came in like 15 flat or 14:40 something at the 5K. Hits 10K sub 30. Hit, I want to say 15K and 47 something, and finished in 61 or 62 something. I believe it was 62 low, and averaged like 4:46 pace the entire way. What that tells me is he no longer has the speed he once did. He's not going to go out easy and sit there and wait for the finish. He doesn't have that speed he once did anymore. He's over 30. He's losing that. So what that's telling me is he's going to be someone who's going to run hard from the gun always. He might have more speed than some of these marathoners, actually. I take that back. He might have more speed than some of these Kenyan marathoners who don't have a whole lot of power to them. They've got a lot of efficiency. But what it's telling me is Galen is ready to go hard from the gun, and he's willing to sit there on someone's shoulder on a hard pace. He's not going to sit and fall off. He looks like he's in great form for Chicago. I'm thinking he's going 2:07 something possibly. Would be a reasonable shout. Maybe 2:06, 2:05, if weather conditions, I guess, follow through like they should. Late September in Chicago shouldn't be bad. The wind is the only issue. And then also going back into the Philly half marathon, Jordan Hussey She debuted in Boston. She's run one marathon, and she's done a lot of road racing recently. She's moved to the roads, won the Peachtree 10K, and I want to say she won the New Haven 20K, the 20K championships a few weeks ago. Jose looks phenomenal as well. Salazar's doing a great job with his runners right now. Regardless of what you want to say about him, anyone, he's doing a great job with his runners, and Jose is sitting here hanging with the top Kenyans. The only two people in the race today that beat her were Defar, who has run the fastest half marathon on American soil ever, and there was a Kenyan girl, I can't remember who it was, but she didn't fall off until the 15K mark. So what that tells me is she's in top form as well, along with Galen, and she's going to run really well coming up soon. What are you thinking about it, Christian?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm a nerd when it comes to this stuff. I follow it religiously. So for me, Galen was always one of those guys who really did look like he had a lot of strength, even though he was a great speed runner. But you see in the last few years that his speed has gone down, his kick's not there, and probably really ended in Rio, where he just lost that last lap and a half in the 10K. But he came back in the marathon, absolutely crushed it, got a bronze for the United States against a stellar field. So hopefully he'll start focusing on that strength running and more of his distance aspect that he was always really good at, and he can start bringing home some even more top gold medals. But it's going to be hard because you got Eliud Kipchoge, Bekele, and Kipsang all about to run against each other in this huge marathon, and they're going to be looking at golds in the next 3 years. So, hopefully Galen, being a little younger than most of those guys, will be able to, sneak in there with age. But honestly, it's looking bright, and I think he's giving a future to more American road runners, which you don't see as predominantly fast in the United States. So I think he's going to help bring it back, and he's done a lot for the sport as it is. So obviously you can't complain. So I think he's going to do great. I think the Oregon Distance Project, the Oregon Club out there, and then Bowerman Track Club. They're all three of them. Yeah, they all work together, and I think they're going to start producing really fast runners. Especially that Craig Ingles just went there. Eric Jenkins is a new member on there. So it'll be good to watch how America does in the next 4 to 8 to 12 years leading up.
Yeah, I think people are starting to forget. Galen's been running 13:30s in the 5K since his senior year of high school. He's been racing professionally for 14 years now. I think people start to forget that he's really not super young anymore. But he's new to the roads, so the roads can be kinder.
I think championship racing, we talked to you, Krissy, a little bit before. And, not everybody thinks about running in the way that we all, like me and Dustin do. We're like nerds when it comes to this stuff. But for you being at Furman, being a D1 athlete, you're gonna obviously have great goals you want to achieve. And if you keep hitting them, you'll have to enter that professional life one day. That's the hope. So if that's the case, how are you managing step by step starting freshman year? What is your long-term goals for this year and your short-term goals for this season?
Long-term goals for this season or typical college career?
For your first year of track and field and cross country.
Short term, I think our next race is 5K in Louisville. Mm-hmm. And I'd like to run in the 17s finally. Because I've run the 18s all 3 years that I've run cross country, and it's getting annoying. And long term, when it comes time for the national meet, or it's the regional meet first, I'd love to, be on the team, the top 5, and scoring points and helping the team get to the national meet. And then instead of I don't know, it's being oh wow, we made it to national meet. I hope that our team competes and goes for, as high as he can, top 15, top 10. So I can't really speak for them, but I know, I'll definitely put it out on the line if we make it that far. But I have high hopes that we will, just because everyone on the team has been working so hard. So
awesome, that's good, and that's good to have. I mean, just making team goals are just as important in cross country and track and field as self goals are. So I'm glad that you said something about that.
Yeah, and going back onto the team, what is it like running with a senior leader like Allie on your team? Or Alex, one of the two.
Yeah, it's Allie. It's so awesome. Obviously I don't run with her during workouts, but during road runs and stuff, it's I don't know. I just feel so honored, she's like one of the best like athletes in like in the NCAA right now, and she'll probably go pro here in the next like year or so. And on top of that, on top of being a great athlete and like runner, like she's an awesome person, and it makes me really proud to be your teammate because she works so hard and like deserves everything.
Yeah, for sure.
But she like giving me like tips or like the other day we got rained out, so we didn't have her circuit, and our coach was like, if you guys could like try to do a circuit on your own, and so she texted in the group chat and was like, if anyone wants to come to like the whatever room it was, and I went, and she texted me afterwards and like I guess complimented me on like showing up and like taking stuff seriously. But yeah, she started like giving me like tips and stuff, and I really appreciated it.
Yeah, for sure. And obviously the location change is probably a little different for you too, coming from Fort Myers, which is all completely pancake flat besides bridges, to Greenville. How different is that?
Have you ever run in DuPont?
I have not.
Either. Oh my gosh, literally, it's just hills everywhere. Like, you turn the corner and you just keep going up. I'm like, what in the world? Like, the closest we get to an incline is like this bridge we have. Other than that, like, there's no slight up or slight down. It's just all flat.
Yeah.
Like, from where I'm from. So all these hills are like, I don't know, it's like throwing me off. Like, we went to camp. One of the runs we did was like Fire Tower. Have you guys heard of that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
we went there, and it's literally like 5 miles straight up.
Yeah.
And we get 2.5 up to the mansion. And I'm just chilling. I'm thinking, okay, like, I can do this. Like, we're getting good, As we reach the mansion, it goes from, like, this level steepness, like, this level. And they start picking it up. So my ass got dropped really hard,
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't hang, but, we've been doing, like, hill work on the golf course, like, short sprints. I think the longest one is, like, 150 meters.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm kind of, like, getting adjusted to that. But it's a nice challenge, Because I feel like once I, like, get over this hill stuff, like, it'll help me in the long run. Because if I can, like, conquer hills like that, like, a lot of people, when it comes to hills, they get, like, mentally stuck. I'm like, look, I just gotta surf the hill, pass all those people, and then you have a nice downhill. So you, like, pick it up during the downhill.
Yep, exactly. That's
Use them to your advantage, I guess.
Yeah.
And us being from Florida, people don't know, all three, technically I'm not from Florida, but I grew up my last 3 years there, so I got accustomed to it. And then I moved to Virginia, and my school's literally on the top of a mountain. So, like, we have a hill that we run here, and it's like 1,200 feet in a matter of, like, I think 0.4 miles. And it's just like, when you finally get to the top, you're just like, oh my god, that was insanely impossible. And
Wait.
so for Christy,
Okay, I have a question. Have you run the UVA course?
Jogged it.
we just went there this weekend.
That's our regional meet, and I really need to know what it's like, because they keep saying it's hard. I'm like, okay, but, like, what is it like? They're like, hard. I'm like, tell me what to expect.
Okay, so nothing like swapping tactics in the middle of an interview. This is what running's all about, because we're trying to always find an edge. Yeah, it's good. That's all I'll say. It's really, really, really good.
How far is the biggest uphill? 'Cause I heard there's a lot of hills.
Probably a quarter to a half mile.
It's probably...
Is it like Nike? Did you guys ever run Nike? Like on the Wake Med course?
It's not like Nike, no.
not that bad.
It's okay.
It's not that bad.
Okay.
There's one hill at UVA that, it's called The Hill, and it's a nice way around the mile, about the 4 mile marker that people are just like, yeah, nope. So, well, I think, I guess for you guys are going to be running the 6K. So probably around, like, I think they, like, if you compare it to girls to guys, probably like 3 miles, that's where the girls get dropped off the hill. So, you know now. So,
Okay.
yeah. But that's running, guys. Cross country. Florida cross country is like almost track racing. It's flat the whole time. So, yeah. But, that's good. It's good to hear, I'm sorry, I'm hearing myself echo. But it's good to hear from a college freshman. I mean, obviously, you're our first college athlete that we've had on here. So you're kind of the benchmark for all college athletes afterwards. But yeah, guys, just, I mean, to recap a little, I mean, Krissy's a freshman. She was a great runner in high school, and she's figuring it out now. The transition, and really, your freshman year is not just about running, or running doesn't involve just the physical act of it. It takes a lot of other stuff to get your running down. And Dustin can say the same too, being a freshman. And I know my freshman year was, God, it was crazy. It was like, I realized I couldn't go to bed at 2 o'clock in the morning because I had 2.5 hours later. So yeah, but it's I think it's wise for that. So I think probably one of our last questions really to do with running with you is how has running affected you as a person in your lifestyle ever since you started doing it, and what does running as an act mean to you?
As running, like a lot of people, it's taught me like a lot about sticking to something. Cause there are a lot of times that like, when I was younger, and I wasn't getting my way or like, wasn't happy with like how I was running. I was like, like I quit. Like I'm not doing this anymore. So tell me about like dedication, determination, and then obviously being on a team, like it teaches you teamwork and to not be selfish. Like like if you're running cross country and you're like, oh man, like I'm tired, like I'm just gonna like jog this last half. Like you're not just hurting yourself by not running a time. Like you're hurting the team. Like you all work together. To teach you that, I've learned how to like build better relationships. Just like I've been on a team and like you're not gonna get along with everyone, but there's people who I didn't get along with. When I started running, that like now we're a lot closer. So I guess teach you like how to like manage those people, and I think most importantly, like you guys have heard the quote, if you stand for nothing, then you fall for everything.
Yeah.
You fall for everything. Like, I don't know. I've like met so many people along the way. So like it's mostly my sisters, but like so a lot of people like that I've met like, running, like when you run, you're part of this like runner community, and like everyone knows each other, and like everyone's so nice. And I think over this past day, a couple years, I've made so many friends and people that have like, I know look up to me, and I just like I don't want to let them down by like going off and like doing something stupid. So it kind of helps me like stay on like the right track, So like all those people like that look up to me and I'm friends with, like that's what I stand for.
That's awesome. That's really, really awesome. So I mean, kind of before we I think end our interview, because we are coming to that time. Krissy kind of is a lot like most runners come on here. I know it relates back to me and Dustin. Running is more than just a sport, and that's why we're doing this. It is a lifestyle. It is a hard lifestyle, but that's what life is, guys. I mean, life is just a mountain that we're climbing, and you just can't let off the pedal even when it gets tough. And I know, like, I'll never forget, like, to me, like, probably the most spiritual race I ran was at Northport, and I'm sure you've ran there, Northport High School, and it was our regional race, and I cramped, like, I think it was, like, 0.7 miles before I finished, and I was just like, dear God, please, just shoot me, and I was like, this is horrible, I was in pain, and then I realized, I was like, oh, crap, we're trying to, qualify for state, I gotta keep going, and I remember I sucked all the air in, I'm, like, screaming as I'm coming across the line, I almost pass out, and my dad asked me in that moment, how do you feel? And I'm like, oh man, I had words, but yeah. But after the race, I really thought about it. I helped, even though I was in pain, I helped myself get to a place that was better than where I was, and I improved as a human being. And most importantly, I made the people that I was training with proud. We all got to help each other out to become better people. And obviously, I think the biggest person, at least on the course, that's you really want to push is your coach. Nothing beats when your coach comes up to you and compliments you. At least for me, because our coach didn't compliment a lot. So getting that compliment was like a good
Orlando.
Oh yeah, Coach Green, which he'll be on here eventually when we go home for a break. So with that said, guys, look out for Krissy. We're gonna plug her, and so that you guys can go and follow her career. Start on the ground level now, so that when she's a gold medalist, she'll talk to you guys later on.
Yeah.
And then we're looking out for Dustin's career too. Dustin's going to be trying to move up to states this year. I mean, for nationals, not states. Whoops. Yeah, states. Still in that high school mindset, and hopefully I will be back at it. We will see it with this injury. But with that said, guys, before I go, just some announcements. Colleen Quigley, the Olympic steeplechaser, will be on Tuesday, so be looking out for her interview. Krissy's interview, I think because we planned Colleen first and we announced it, will probably come a few days after that. And so we're going to talk about just a few things. We're trying to head up to New York City coming October 4th through the 7th. Interviews with some Casey Neistat, the big YouTuber, and see how running affects his life, even though he's not a professional runner. And then get some insight from the Adidas track with Kyle Merber and some of the NYC and NYJ track athletes there. And so this is kind of like our breaking of it. So I basically just kind of get that New York lifestyle and see what it's like running in the city and stuff. And then so we've been reaching out to athletes. We're trying to get more. We're actually, I think we can officially say it, we're trying to get David Rudisha on here, Azabel Kiprop, and a few of the elite Kenyan, just Kenyans in history and runners in history. And we've even reached out to some older runners like Sebastian Coe and stuff. So we're trying to bring as much as you guys can, and we are going to take probably some breaks from track and field and try to go to ultra running, mountain running, road racing, just people who do it for a lifestyle. My own dad who does it to cope with PTSD. And that's kind of just where we're going. We haven't done an announcement on that yet. And so we do have an announcement coming later. We can't talk about it yet because me and Dustin don't have it finalized. But this summer is going to be a big deal. And even though we're doing Skype calls right now, guys, it will get better. That's the thing we're really trying to work on right now, but we're poor college students. And so as you can all see, we're all three of us in our dorm room. So now we're trying to work on it, but this summer, hopefully with enough build-up between us money-wise, we're going to do a bit of a trip and hopefully interviewing athletes in person, which we will let you guys more know in the next coming weeks. With that said, follow Krissy on all social media.
And one last thing for me.
Social media right now.
Even if she's not on social media, never mind. But do it anyway. Follow her in spirit.
My phone, so I spend too much time on it. So once the season kind of ends in November, I'll go back on.
Yeah, and one final thing.
See her when she comes back, but you can follow us to keep up with her in the meantime. So go follow our page, Running with the Wolves 5000 on Insta, Twitter, and Facebook, and then follow me and Dustin, and we keep updates on there too. With that said, Dustin, do you have any final remarks?
Yeah, one final thing. October 7th, everyone come down if you're in the area. We'll be Krissy and I both will be racing at Furman. Krissy might not be racing, but I should be racing at Furman.
Yeah, I don't think I'm racing.
She'll be there at Furman. 5K at Furman. Gene Mullins. Should be a good race. If anyone wants to stay posted on that. And obviously Krissy will be at Louisville next weekend. And regionals are early November if anyone wants to stay posted on that. Conference is late October. And then hopefully nationals is late November for both of us. So stay posted. I'll post a schedule for myself, and I'll post Krissy's schedule as well. And stay posted on everything, and we'll keep you updated, guys. That's it.
All right. With that said, thank you, Krissy, for coming on. I'm sure we'll see you back hopefully in the next coming months or years. And so with that said, guys, keep it fast, keep it hard. See you guys later.